We are back with another episode of Teamology. I am super excited today. We've got an incredible guest, Josh Dukes. He leads a team that has a massive amount of production. He is in the Maryland, Virginia area. And Josh, tell us a little bit about your team. Tell us a little bit about you and kind of what that looks like as far as composition, some statistics, things like that.
So I am really happy to be here. Number one, excited to share a couple things with you.
Yeah,
We are One Residential. I've got a business partner, cohort, and also battle buddy. Her name is Erin Jones, and we co-run One Residential. We are in the DMV area, which stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And we
Okay.
have roughly about 40 agents, 15 support staff, and we're on track to do about 325 to 335 million in production. That's about 700 units total to include leases. So we're excited. We've really had a great year, even though the market's been challenging. And just here to share some good stuff with you.
Yeah, I love it, man. Funny because out here in California, when we hear DMV, it's like a nightmare, Department of Motor
Well,
Vehicles,
everybody,
right? It's like
yeah.
I think of lines and unhappy people, right? So I'm glad that you've brought in a
Yeah.
different light to the acronym DMV. So um, take us back, Josh. Like, how did your team get started? What was the vision of when you first built it? Because obviously you didn't have a team of 40 at one point, right? I'm sure something where you may have been doing it yourself type thing.
Well, in the beginning, uh, I was brought into real estate by my life coaches and mentors, the Wazas. They were huge agents in the industry back in the like 80s, 90s, and 2000s,
Okay.
and they were my wife and I's realtors. They brought us in and said, "Hey, look, we want you to come into the business. We'll mentor you. We'll show you everything. We'll show you the ropes." And that was around what was that? 2015, 2014, and
Okay.
from there, they brought me in. They brought my wife in, and as soon as I started learning, I was like, man, this would be great if we could actually build a whole team together and influence others because what they were teaching me, I thought was gold. And it just had to do with always, working from a service above self standpoint. And I thought it was infectious and something that all realtors should really strive for, focusing on the activities and not the money, and that the money will come. So over between 2015 all the way up until today, um, we've just been adding, growing, getting better, getting faster. And originally the team was called the Waz Dukes team, which their name was Waz, my name was Dukes.
Okay.
And so we grew that team up to about maybe 13 agents. And that was about up until about 2000. What was that? That's going to be 2021, 2022. At the same time as we were growing this team, I also had a great friend, battle buddy, accountability buddy. Her name was Erin Jones, who now runs the team with us. And she was doing the
Awesome.
same thing simultaneously, growing this team. And we kind of were like brother sister teams, and we would lean on each other back and forth and be like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Our agents were friends. We're in the same market center. And at some point, we were like, what if we did this crazy thing that most people are like, don't do? Let's make a partnership. They said, why would you make a two-headed monster, right? But what if we put these two teams together and we took the best from each side, all the strengths from her team, all the strengths from our team, and we interwove this thing. And I like to say, we put this peanut butter and jelly sandwich together. And peanut butter is great, jelly is great, but when they're together on some white bread, it's like, I mean, it's magic, right? So
Yeah.
um, we ended up deciding to lean on each other's strengths and put this thing together. And as my mentor started to age out of the business, we pushed forward with One Residential, which ended up, we put two teams together as one, and we just think the symbolism works. And to this day, we're happy that we did it.
Yeah, and I love this quote you said, which was service above self. And you know what really went like it's I'm in a completely different market, California, And sometimes when I call agents, it's challenging to get people to answer. However, I called you a week ago at 5:30 your time, and within 3 rings you're like, this is Josh. So someone who answers his phone and is
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
what he
Yep.
teaches. I freaking love that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so kind of to based on what you achieved so far, because those are some massive numbers. Especially, I'm not sure how your market is. We're probably down about 25 to 30% this year. Is that similar in your neck of the woods?
Yes, correct. Yep. We
Okay.
are the market in general is down.
Yeah. And you're still growing. I mean, what's been the biggest driver of your growth so far?
Funny you ask this. There's two answers to this.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you, I think, the most pertinent one. I think the driver of our growth is actually our retention. And what
That's
I mean
huge.
by that is that we haven't we're not backsliding and we're not in danger of that. And that's because we're retaining our best people. And our best people then help us grow because the fact that our best people have been with us for so long, it helps in our recruiting efforts and we recruit by attraction. People are
That's
like,
so huge.
how are you keeping great folks, great agents, top producers for 10 years at a time? Hey, there must be something different about that. Let me go find out. So we're really recruiting through attraction, and uh, the market center is helping us by getting our name out there. We're making sure that we're present in all agent things that are happening out there, but then also the transaction itself. We have a high standard of good communication, being professional, being on top of your things, having systems in place. All those things also help attract because we work with agents all the time, right? The
Yeah.
agent on the
Yeah.
other side is seeing what's going on and they like what they see in general. So, it's not a big pat on the back. It's more like we just feel like we've got a good taste, and we're handing out chicken wings and people are like, this is it. Let's go. Give me some dip.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Because, you think about it too is when you're on the other side of that and you're out and you're touching base with the other agent, hey, with someone's like, we have a lot of things in place. Hey, I'm another piece of support during this transaction. If you need anything, feel free to reach out to me. Right communication from even the team leader. I think that makes a big difference, and it shows what they may not have, right? So that's massive. I love that. Um, what speaking to that? So you mentioned 40 partners as far as partnerships within agents within your organization.
Mhm.
How what's your goal around that? What's your vision? Are you looking to grow even further? Because that's a big number. That's a big number.
Yeah, that's well. Let me first stop you because you said you have 40 partners. I love the fact that you said that because that's the way we look at it. We have 40
Yeah.
partners, not 40 people just carrying the weight because that's a
Yeah.
lot of the way things are normally set up. Um, but our where are we going? I think where we're going is our number one goal is to grow responsibly. And what I mean by that is we want to number one grow the agents that we have. So
Yeah.
grow the home team. The home team being not necessarily agent count or whatever that it's more productivity from the agents that we have because we know that if the agents that we have are more productive, they're happier, they can pay their bills, they can actually save money, and their world can get big and our world can continue to get big and everyone can stay in the same system. You know what I mean?
Love that.
So that's number one. Number two, we do have growth goals, and our idea is that we want to grow responsibly. And what responsibly means is that we would like to grow by 3 to 5 agents a year, adding key players where they're adding to the culture, they're adding to how sharp we are from an educational standpoint, and then also obviously to the bottom line. We do run a business, so those three things. Um, Expansion, we think about expansion all the time, but at this point we are really thinking about the nucleus being as tight and as strong as possible so that when we do end up moving out to expansion, that nucleus is so strong that it will hold everything else in place.
Yeah, you got to have a good core, and I love the fact that you focus on your partners and the tenure too. So with us, I lead a team out here, and I've got 4 year partners. But the bigger thing that I look at is I'm a big PAP, per agent productivity, because you see a lot of teams out there that have these massive numbers, but then you look up and there's like 700 units, and they've got 200 agents. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's insane to me. So I love that you have that in mind. That's so
Yeah.
good.
And just really quick, one of the things that we're very proud of, especially when somebody starts looking at perhaps joining the team, I don't pull up the top producer, okay? And I don't pull up the brand new people. I'm just like, look at the middle.
Yeah.
And normally you wouldn't say this because it sounds unflattering. Our middle is fat, right? But
Yeah. That's
by
true
fat,
though.
I just mean that the middle of the pack is doing well, and that's
Yeah.
important.
No, I love that. What do you look for when bringing on new partners to your team? What's been your biggest lesson in building people?
So we operate on the principles of the three H's. The three H's are you got to be hungry, humble, and honest. If we can find hungry, humble, and honest, we know everything else will fall into place. If you're hungry, you've got that fire in the belly. We're in sales. We get punched in the face daily, if not
Daily,
hourly.
hourly,
If
hourly,
not hourly,
minute.
or by the minute.
Yeah.
So you got to be hungry. You got to take the punches and just keep rolling. Number two, you got to be humble. This business will humble you again on a hourly, daily basis, and you have to. A humble person understands that everything is not given, and they're not. You're not entitled to anything. And so the last H, honest. We work in a business where you can make a lot of money, but it has to do with customer service and helping others. And if you're an honest person, others can feel your honesty and they will trust you. And that's so we feel like those three H's really encapsulate what we're looking for in total.
I love hearing that. I have a group that I look for as well. So I love that you have something down, and that's the three H's. That's so good. I love that. I love that. Humble too. Yeah. Um, what do you think within your team, if you could fully capitalize on one opportunity in your business right now, which one do you think would unlock the greatest potential, greatest opportunity for your organization?
I think right now the greatest I think the greatest opportunity for us right now is unlocking the per agent productivity. um, I'll say windfall. Let's say windfall, because when you're
Love
when
it.
you're looking at each agent, and obviously we've been doing this, but we know if we can unlock this even 75%, that this will it'll push the organization into a stratosphere where we will be unstoppable. We won't have any walls, because if everybody's producing at a high level, or almost everybody, then we will have the ability to fund anything that we need to help agents and help the organization proliferate, if you will, to continue to grow. So I think it still goes down to per agent production.
That's always a work in progress too, right? Because there's a lot of factors that go into it, through coaching, training, and even going into that hungry piece, right? So that's definitely a massive one. How do you keep your culture unique? How do you keep it strong? What's that look like in your world?
Yeah,
That's a big
so
piece of it.
so I think this is the secret sauce, actually. So I think the secret sauce of retention is a strong culture. And like sometimes I think we throw the word culture out all the time, because like it's almost turned into a buzzword these days in
Mm-hmm.
business. Hey, your culture, your culture. Um, but what I like to say is the test of a strong culture is not when things are good. When things are good, hey, I got a great culture. When things are going bad, if people are leaving and people are breaking apart, that's how you know your culture is not strong. Because the strong culture, when things go bad, when things don't go the way it was planned, and people stick around and they work through it, that's how you know your culture is strong. And some of the things that we do to keep our culture at a strong point is we actually give a crap. And
So
it seems real
true.
simplistic. Seems real simplistic. However, it's often overlooked. And it, I believe it starts from the top down. I fully believe if you were to single out one of our agents and ask them, you know, does leadership actually care about their family and how they're doing? They would say yes, 100%. If you were to ask them if we believe that they're just a number, I believe that the answer would be no, we're not just a number. And that just comes from picking up the phone at 12 midnight, when one of my agents called and said, my sister's having an episode, I need help, and I drove over there. Whether it be Erin answering the phone when somebody's in the ER and she's in the car, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
things like that, just listening to folks and not having a hostile environment, just a place to listen and then offer, some educational ways to work through it. I think that is the way that we've kept the culture the way that it is, because the way that we react, the agents react, and
Yeah.
I believe that everybody has each other's back because of that.
I love that. In fact, our team, we're actually reading together again, is Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Such a good book. And it's just introducing them and working on that, because I think that's such a huge piece of our world, and being present. And like you said, is having those conversations, being a part of their world, knowing, birthdays of the kids. It's been pretty, I think the biggest thing, and I'm probably pretty sure you could probably attest to this, is when you're leading an organization, the reason you built it is because you've had success, right? Now the joy, at least for on my side at least, is seeing others have success, and whether it's buying their first property, then buying another property, and now they're building generational wealth, bringing a kid into their world, retiring their wife, just so many cool things to experience. It's that would be self, right? Or them over self.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely, it
I
is.
love that. I love that. What what's one system, tool, or strategy you couldn't live without in your team? What's that look like? What's your what's your thing? What are you?
I would say I think the I think our hiring strategy.
Yeah.
Um, I think our system and strategy of hiring is very well thought out, and it is adapted, through KW and the career visioning setup. But I mean, I'll give you a quick little, like, 45-second version of how we go about it. Number one, we have a coffee with somebody. We're just going to have a coffee. the, the premise is, are you weird? And it's not, are you weird, like, we're all weird, right? We're all weird.
Yeah, we're all something.
Lights go out, the door is closed, you're a weirdo. But but in general, can you have a conversation with somebody? Are you a conversationalist? Are you a good listener? Can you make eye contact? Can you do these things? 50% of the people we meet with fail that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We're in sales. We're in sales. If you were a computer programmer, I wouldn't be looking for any of that, really, to be honest, right? I don't care.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but we're in sales, so we're looking for that. Number two, we are going to do the KPA. We're going to run that Keller personality assessment. We just want to understand, like, what makes you tick. From there, we are going to sit down and validate it. We're going to make sure that it nailed it. If it has, we are going to do that life story. We're going to go from diapers to the day we're sitting at this desk. And then if we get through all that, we're going to sit down, and Aaron and I are going to sit down, and we're going to bring in another team leader of ours, and we're going to have a full formal interview. And from
Yeah.
then, we're going to do a defense. Hey, talk me out of this. Is this the right call or not? If you make it all the way through that, then you're on the team. But what we find is that somebody that's willing to go through that month, because it takes a month,
It does.
if they're willing to do that, they, first off, they've got a backbone, and they know that anything that they want that's worth it is going to be easy, and they're willing to stick in there with it. Number two, it allows us to kind of go back and forth and really understand this person, to have maybe some communication disagreements, to just all the different little pinch points that you're going to run into in the long run with somebody. So we drag it out on purpose. Oh, and one of the things I forgot is that we on purpose do not follow up with these people.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
We do not follow up. And what does that do? It fits into the three H's: hungry. If you are hungry and you miss a meal, You're going to go find your meal. And that's what we want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's I've always found that if we, you're chasing people, they should be the ones chasing the opportunity, right? And there's a lot of organizations out there that they're like, oh, you want to make a lot of money? Awesome, you're on the team, right? And I've done it. I'm probably, I would think maybe you've done it in your
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
career,
Yeah, we
right?
make that mistake. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. Well, guess what? Those people are gone really quickly when anything gets astray, right? So yeah, I love that. Let me
Agreed.
ask you this. So there's a lot of agents out there who maybe are looking at building a team or considering it. What would you give advice to them, to another team leader who wants to scale up to your level? What would it be? What would you advise them?
I would start with a couple of questions for him. Number one, would you rather get a call from an agent with an issue or a seller that wants to sell their house? If you'd rather get a call from a seller that wants to sell their house, don't build a team. Or I should say, build a team that is vertical. You have employees that work for you underneath you, but you do not have an agent pool.
Yeah.
Two different models, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I would say if you're building a team, make sure that you have the infrastructure in place to handle what you ask for.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people will start a team and they don't follow the modeling, and they will just, you have a bunch of business, you do your own paperwork right now, like you're closing 50 transactions, you're like, oh, I'm getting crazy, I need two buyers agents. You grab two buyers agents, and but you're the person that does the paperwork yourself still, and you're the
Yeah.
person that does the running, so now you're working for them, right? Where it should be like the symbiotic thing. So I really think that it's, have the infrastructure in place, get your assistants in place first. You probably should have two assistants before you actually have bring in buyer agents. So I think that's something else that I would pay attention to. We've made that mistake before where we've gotten too top heavy and the foundation wasn't strong enough, and we broke some china. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
We broke
Yeah.
some china.
Drop
Yeah,
some.
that's right. That's right. So I think those are two big things.
No, love it. Um, what book are you reading? What would be a book recommendation? I always love getting that.
So, well, we go back and forth. We have basically an agent leadership council. We have the team leaders are, we have a team meeting that we always get together and read a book, and then also there's some offshoots on the rest of the team. From an overall team perspective, Ninja Selling is a great book that is like really based around sphere of influence and like old school principles of selling from a from a leadership standpoint. Um, we love Simon Sinek,
Yeah.
and
He's
we
soft
read
good.
the last one we read was Leaders Eat Last,
Mm-hmm.
and so we those two books are super solid. And I think if you're looking for leadership, Simon Sinek is amazing. If you're looking for just like good old 101 selling, and doing it the right way and thinking about that service above self attitude, I think Ninja Selling is a super solid book for that.
We've been reading Science of Scaling. Have you read that yet?
No, I haven't. I'll put that on my
Yeah.
list.
Fantastic book. We just actually had the author of that book come on our call here Friday today, as a matter of fact, and it's a very interesting book. I won't pick it up, grab it. I think you'll love it. But yes. So, Josh, how does someone get a hold of you? Let's say they're have questions, or maybe they're buying or selling in the area, or they want to join a team. What would that look like?
Yeah, easiest thing to do is if you just punch in one residential, will pop up online. Our web address is oneresre.com. You can also email me at josh@oneresre.com. And also, if you just look if you put my name Josh Dukes in, there's two people that are going to pop up. There's a DJ out in California, DJ Duke, and then there's Josh Dukes, me. that'll pop in.
Not a
So it's pretty
second
funny.
life then, huh?
Yeah. Not a second life. So, but yeah, easy to get hold of. I'm on Insta. I'm on Facebook. Again, on Instagram, I'm Josh Dukes Realtor. I'll pop up
Awesome,
there.
man.
But yeah,
Dude, I really appreciate you coming on, Josh. I know you're a busy guy, so just taking the time on a Friday. I'm sure you have a lot of different things. So super humbled and appreciative of you coming on here and short notice. And thank you so much, man. That so good, such good tips. I actually have a couple sides of notes that I took. So
awesome,
thank you,
awesome.
thank you,
All right, my
appreciate
pleasure.
you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.